What's going on, guys? I am Harv, and welcome to my top 5 games of 2023. I played a lot of games this year, but these are the top 5 games of 2023 for me this year. At number 5, we have Resident Evil 4 Remake. There has been a lot of remakes coming out in the last 5 years or so, from Dead Space to Demon's Souls PS5, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Resident Evil 2 and 3. Resident Evil 4 is an amazing remake. I hadn't played this game since the GameCube, so it's been nice to go back into the shoes of Leon. The controls are updated, the voice acting is top-notch, and the puzzles are so Resident Evil. Even though the scope has gotten bigger in this game, but it keeps that RE feeling like the other ones do. One of the things that I love about RE4 Remake is the charm and the aloofness that Leon still has. Capcom kept that in the remake, and I'm so happy for it. This is one of my favorite 100% of the year. The boss battles were so much fun, and just exploring the village and going into the different areas was so exciting. Also, hearing the merchant saying, "What are you buying?" was also a highlight of the year for me. Every year, there are games that come out and take the gaming community by storm. And when it comes to multiplayer games, that storm is huge. We had Fall Guys, and then we had Among Us. This year, it's Lethal Company. This is my number 4 game on my list. Developed by one person, this game is a masterclass of horror and jank that gives it so much charm. It doesn't matter if it's your first time going in to get scraps to reach your quota, or it's your 1000th time. The darkness and the feeling of being haunted by the different types of monsters still freaks me out. The enemy variety is great, and bringing that big haul always gives me that euphoric feeling. If you got that group of friends that you play games with, this is a must. My number 3 for this year is Lies of P. There are so many different Soulsborne games out there, so many of them that it's its own genre now, and 80% of them are pretty meh. I don't usually put Souls-like games in high regard, but this changed with Lies of P. This is the most From Software kind of game that I've played. The bosses are mostly great. The weapon variation with the handle/blade swapping makes every playthrough feel fresh every single time. The story is amazing, and it's loosely based on Pinocchio. This game gives you the story in a straightforward way, and I feel like that's a breath of fresh air when it comes to this genre. The parry system is a satisfying risk or reward for the player. If there is a Soulsborne game that you want to play, or a Souls-like you want to play in 2023, Lies of P should be the top of your list. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I did not enjoy Breath of the Wild. I won't get too much into it, but I think the powers were very meh, the world seemed empty, and the traversing the world was quite boring, and that's just among other things that I didn't like about it. So now you might ask, why is Tears of the Kingdom my number 2 game for 2023? Tears of the Kingdom fixed most of the problems that I had with Breath of the Wild. The powers were amazing and so much fun to use. I love finding new ways to figure out shrine puzzles and kind of use these powers to use the physics engine in my advantage. Adding the underground was a genius idea where it kind of was the inverse of the top level. The gear that was found in that bottom area were like from different timelines, from different Zeldas, and it was a perfect thing to do. Even the sky areas weren't the best, but it kind of gave it another dimension to the game. I wanted to explore every part of this game. The story still felt a little messy. Letting the player do the Divine Beast in any kind of way kind of makes it feel a little bit disjointed, but I think finding the tears around the open world fleshed the world out and the story so much more around this time. I absolutely loved this game. There comes a game that breaks every expectation you had for it. I know of what Larian Studio is capable of when they made the Divinity series. It's one of my favorites of all time. I love turn-based games. I love tactical turn-based games. 2023 is the year of Baldur's Gate 3. I've never played D&D before, and BG3 is pretty much D&D in a video game. It's overwhelming at the start, but once it clicks, it's something special. This video would be 20 minutes long if I wanted to talk about everything that I loved about Baldur's Gate 3. It's safe to say that this game makes me want to play D&D on the tabletop now. The voice acting is the best I've seen in a very long time, with so many different ways to finish quests, different inflections that the voice actors have, and the choices that players make affect those characters in the game. I wish I could see them all, but there are just too many different endings to quests. I love that feeling of going to another person to see how they dealt with certain interactions and saying, wow, I have no idea that was even possible. And this still happens after all this time. Baldur's Gate 3 is a special game and might actually define the generation going forward, like Elden Ring and Breath of the Wild did previously. Thank you guys so much for watching my top 5 video games of 2023. If you guys like the list, hit that like button. If you guys have any questions about the list and why some games didn't make it, I had to have some honorable mentions, but I'm not going to get into them in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like the video, hit that like button. If you guys like the content on the channel, hit that sub button. Thank you so much. From Point in Progress, I hope everybody had an amazing 2023. Tell me what your guys' game of the year is down below, and I will see you guys next year.